All right, Jaime Lozano doesn't want to name his starting striker, but Herc, I can. Because I've also got, not my ideal, but my probable Mexico 11 to face Ghana in North Carolina on Saturday. Now, let's start at the back, okay? Because I'm calling this my A ver 11. My A ver 11. A ver qué tienes. Let's see what you got 11. All right? At the back, we're going Luis Malagón. Goalie's an issue for Mexico. We know they need to get younger. We know they need to see other options beyond Memo Ochoa. Malagón is the youngest of all the guys in the group, so I'll go with him just based on that and the fact that he's doing well right now for Club America. Gerardo Arteaga, Ramon Juárez, Cesar Montes, Kevin Alvarez across the back. Cesar Montes is the only lock in there. Arteaga didn't play at the World Cup. Let's see what you got. Ramon Juárez, Herc, you've been screaming for him. Let's see what he's got. Kevin Alvarez, I would have loved to have Julian Araujo here. If he was healthy, he'd be my starter. Jorge Sanchez not playing enough right now with Porto. Kevin Alvarez gets the nod. Edson Alvarez is a midfielder. Don't try to make him anything else. He's a midfielder. I'm going Luis Chavez and Eric Sanchez. The old Pachuca pair in there. I want to see more of Chiquito Sanchez. I was between him and Marcel Ruiz. Ruiz has earned some minutes. Sanchez, I think, has earned the start based on what he's already done with the national team. And then up top, it's pretty easy. No-brainer Santi Gimenez. No-brainer Chucky Lozano. And I'm going Cesar Huerta Herc here because I know what the other guys are. I know what Orbelin is. I know what Uriel Antuna is. I want to see more from Chino Huerta. Let's see if we can keep feeding that hot hand. What do you think of my once here?
All right, you said this is your probable, so that means this is what you think Jaime Lozano is going to do. I don't think that's what Jaime Lozano is going to do, but let me just concentrate on this 11. This is a hipster's dream 11. I know you guys that are tired of the old guard or of the old Mexican national team, of what you just saw from Jaime Lozano's last window, if you will. This is a welcomed sight, absolutely, a breath of fresh air. This is why I don't think it'll happen, because Jaime Lozano's picking the squad. Malagón, I think he gave us some insight, right? He said so much after the Uzbekistan game that maybe it would have been beneficial to give another goalkeeper some minutes. All right, so Malagón could get those minutes. If we had to rank the 4 goalkeepers right now, I think in Jimmy's eyes, he would go Memo Ochoa 1, Malagón 2, Toño Rodriguez 3, Julio Gonzalez 4. Shout out to Julio Gonzalez. I know how hard he's worked for this, standing behind Osvaldo Sanchez at Santos. And then Talavera at Pumas. He's definitely earned the right to be on this list, but there's 4 goalkeepers. All 4 won't play. So Malagón is a good shout. The last goalkeeper to play besides Memo Ochoa was Malagón. He didn't do so well versus Cameroon at Snapdragon Stadium. Turn the page. Different game. I'll give you that. Very good to see a goalkeeper do things and potentially do things in the future. Ramon Juárez, I'm very, very curious if he will give the debut to Ramon Juárez. This is a guy that doesn't have more than 40 games of top flight football. You know, I've raved about Ramon Juárez, how he's got that hunger, the humility, how well he played with San Luis, how well he's playing right now with this Club America alongside Igor Lichnowsky. I'm worried about putting Ramon Juárez in a debut game against a team like Ghana, who has some playmakers, has some pace, has some really good transition players, alongside Cesar Montes, who's not really been playing at the club level. He's not really been playing that much. So that duo is of a concern to me. I would think that Jaime Lozano has kind of played his hand, shown us his cards before, and we're going to see Edson Alvarez there. I think you think that as well deep down inside. Jorge Sanchez on the right is what I think Jaime Lozano is going to do, because I don't think Jaime Lozano likes the way that Kevin Alvarez defends. He's very good going forward, a liability defending. You already mentioned Julian on the left. I could see Arteaga. I could see that. I want to see that. I don't want to see Gallardo. I want to see Arteaga. In the midfield, I've got no issue. Chavez should be on the left, Sanchez on the right. We could probably see a Jordi Cortizo, a Marcel Ruiz get some minutes, but I've got no issue with the trio if that were the trio. This is where things get tricky, okay? You have 3 players, or I should say 2 players in this instance, that could play on the left, that are left wingers. Cesar Huerta, who's killing it at Liga MX right now, who's got 2 games under his belt, 1 start, and Chucky Lozano. Where do you go from here? Because Chucky Lozano in his best moments for the Mexican national team and at club level have come from the left winger position. Are we to think that Chucky is just to be take it down to the right flank to accommodate a debutant, and he will be okay with it, or that would be the answer. I'm not too sure. Listen, Cesar Huerta could be a breath of fresh air in many reasons. For many reasons. He came off the bench against Australia, scored a good goal, started the next game against Uzbekistan, and kind of disappeared. I don't think that will be the solution in Jimmy's eyes. How much we see of these two playing together, opposite each other, I think will be telling into how flexible Jaime Lozano is with this lineup, but I don't think it'll happen.
It's very popular now, Herc, to invert your wingers, right? To have somebody who's a left-footed player play on the right and a right-footed player like Chucky play on the left. So maybe there's something there. As far as Juarez is concerned, and I understand your doubts about giving a player like this a debut in a spot like this, it's almost at this point by default, right? I made that 11 considering no Victor Guzman, and even though he's doubtful, no Johan Vazquez. If I had either of those guys, I might have leaned there. But at this point, if those two guys can't play, he's probably your only choice there at center back. So it may be a non-starter. There may be no choice for Jaime Lozano.
Edson, think about this. Think about this. I mean, you mentioned Victor Guzman is out. I mean, how many minutes did he play at Gold Cup? Do you want to know? He played 0 minutes at Gold Cup with Jaime Lozano. It was Edson Alvarez playing alongside Cesar Montes. And you know what? It was also Luis Romo playing there as well. So that could be an option for Jaime Lozano. But Ramon Juarez, I think he's a very good player. But this is a baptism by fire if you throw him into the game alongside Cesar Montes against Ghana like this without any previous experience.